Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla. I am a fantasy and sci-fi fiction writer. I'm not yet published, but I am working on a couple different projects in different areas of writing, and I kind of just wanted to give a little update on which projects I'm currently working on, give you a little bit of an idea around what they're about, and kind of just do an updated version of this video. I think I made a video about all of the projects that I was working on or that I wanted to work on, but I think I put that one up on my Patreon. So I figured I'd do an update and I would do it over here on my channel. So project number one that I am working on and that I have been working on for the longest time now, and that is the top priority for projects that I need to be working on because it is going to be published first, is called Between the Waves. If you've been following my channel and my writing journey for a while, you have a pretty good idea of what Between the Waves is about, but just to give you a quick rundown, it is a high fantasy pirate adventure story. It's about a girl who gets separated from her home realm when this kind of magic explosion happens, and the story is about her trying to get back to her home realm to make sure that the people that she loves are okay and are safe, and on her exciting journey through the 9 realms, she joins up with a crew of pirates, and together they have to try and figure out if they can get back to the realm that she was separated from. Along the way, she learns a lot more about what actually happened when the magic explosion happened, and she also learns a lot about her own powers and her own magical abilities. Currently, I'm almost at 40,000 words in the second or third draft of this book. I've done a lot of changing around with it, and I think there's a lot of changes to come still, but when it comes to Between the Waves, the goal is to have the final draft done by the end of this year so that 2024 is the year of publication for that book, depending on how things go. So that's the sort of timeline for Between the Waves. The second project that I'm working on is actually a collection of poetry. So at the end of last year, actually probably about a little over a year now, I did kind of like a poetry competition type thing where the idea was to write 1 poem a day for, I believe it was 21 days. So I participated in that, wrote a whole bunch of poetry, and I now have 25 or so poems that are focused around the same sort of theme because they were going to be part of this collection. So I tried to write them and then edit them as just so that they followed that same theme. Like I said, I have about 25 poems that I'm pretty happy with. I still want to make edits to them, but I already know that I want to include those in the poetry collection. And then I think that generally poetry collections are at least 30 to 50 poems, so we're probably going to need to double the amount of poems that I have right now. But poetry is something that I tend to write if it comes to me. So often I'll have a night where my brain just decides that it wants to write poetry or do songwriting, and those are usually nights like that is when I get a bunch of poems written. So I just need a few more nights of that to get the rest of my poems for that collection written, and then it's kind of just learning how to piece it together. I haven't decided yet how I want to distribute that collection. I don't know if I want to self-publish it or if I want to just put it up on Patreon or something, or kind of like sell it through my own means. I haven't really figured out how that's going to work yet, but that is another project that I'm currently working on. The third project that I'm working on you've also potentially heard about a few times, and that is called Project Raven as of right now. It's also a new adult fantasy fiction novel. This one is going to be a little bit darker than previous novels that I've worked on. And this one is very much a new adult fantasy romance. So romance or the romantic relationship is definitely one of the main plot lines, if not the main plot line in the story. And this is something that I've been working on for a few months now, since sometime last summer, I believe, because I wanted to write something about magic and secret societies, so I started writing this for fun. It was kind of like a guilty pleasure project to work on. It was when I kind of just wanted to write something really fun, and like it didn't feel like it had to be very serious or planned out, and I could just kind of pants the book. This is the project that I would work on. However, as it's grown and I've gotten more inspired and I've worked on it further, I do think it's something that I might want to publish in the future, so I am also working on that one. But Between the Waves takes precedence over that one because Between the Waves is one that I need to get done this year. I've set that goal, so that is the priority as far as long form fiction goes. And then two kind of honorable mentions as far as projects go. The first one is called Society 13. That's the tentative name. This idea came to me beginning of last year, I think, so it's been floating around for about a year now. I've done a little bit of research into the project so far. It is a science fiction novel, and it's based on a certain kind of music. I don't know how much I want to talk about it yet, just because it's very early ideation stages and I still have a lot of research to do. But it is sort of a dystopian sci-fi novel that is, yeah, like I said, focused around a certain kind of music. And the inspiration comes from an actual historical person who existed. And that was kind of the inspiration for the idea. So that one is also not being written or anything, but it's basically in research stages, and I think it'll probably stay that way for a long time because there is a lot of research that I want to put into this. But it's something I kind of wanted to mention because it is sci-fi instead of fantasy, and it's a project that I'm pretty excited about because I've never written anything like it before. And then the second honorable mention is one that I haven't even started yet, but it is a co-writing project that I was speaking to a new friend about, and she had this idea and I was talking to her about one of my ideas, and it kind of connected, and she was like, this is something that I've been wanting to do. And I said, why don't we co-write it? That would be fun. And she agreed. So I'm hoping that we get started on that this week because we need to sit down and do some brainstorming and do some research. But that is going to be a screenplay for a TV show or a TV series. And it is also going to be kind of historical fiction. So I'm excited about that as well because it's been a while since I wrote a screenplay, and I'm excited that she's excited about the idea, and I've never co-written anything technically. So I think that'll be really fun. So those are all the projects that I'm currently working on. And when I say I'm working on them, I mean I'm very, very slowly working on them just because, again, like I mentioned in my New Year video, I am working over 40 hours a week, and I also have transit time to get to and from that job because I can't work from home. So I have a lot less time to work on these projects, which is really sad, but that's kind of just how it goes, and we're gonna do the best we can. And the majority of the time that I spend working on projects will be spent on Between the Waves, and then the other projects I'll probably just pick up when I need a break from Between the Waves, or I just feel like writing in a different format, like I feel like doing poetry or screenwriting instead of drafting a long novel. So that's what I'm working on and where my creative focus is for the next year or so. I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick little update video on the projects that I have on the go as far as writing goes. I would love to hear about your projects in the comments down below if you want to share with me what you're currently working on or what you want to be working on or are planning to start working on. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.